We've looked at the deluxe blue and yellow suit Wolverine, the brown and tan suit Wolverine, and now we are continuing the Wolverine marathon with the TVA jacket Wolverine today. But let's be real, this is a shirtless Wolverine and I am blown away by Hot Toys' innovation for this figure and what this means for future releases. And honestly, I am so glad I decided not to miss out on this figure because what you're about to see is next level. But it's not without its flaws because there's one huge missed opportunity here that I hope is not intentional to just give us another Wolverine in the future. As you all know, all good unboxings start with a box, and this one is in the same style as all the other Deadpool and Wolverine releases. But this one has to be my favorite since orange and blue are my two favorite colors. There's some artwork of Hugh Jackman up front, sadly wearing the jacket in front of a blue background with orange glossy claw marks going through it. This is MMS 756. The sides of the box just show the figure details with the rest of the claw marks. Then the back of the box has a bunch of extra info. The top of the box has the figure info and the bottom just says Deadpool and Wolverine. Sliding the top cover off the inner box, we can now see the figures through that open window with, once again, the best friend's charm in the corner. This box is very orange with Deadpool's drawings all around it, and yes, I love that shade of orange. The sides just have the figure info and the back has a /Deadpool logo, and there is an image of what seems to be the figure this time. But once again, he's unfortunately in that jacket. Man, I feel bad for anyone that got this figure and never even tried to remove the jacket. Let's slide out the plastic figure tray now and remove the lid to get to that figure because that jacket right there needs to be removed ASAP. But real quick, if you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit the bell to be notified when new content goes live. Now, let's get into it. Taking the figure out, this is already looking good because I've wanted a more battle damaged Wolverine and these pants are looking nasty. Of course, the jacket is clean and looks lame. I guess it's a good material, but no one bought the figure for the jacket. So let's unzip it. I just need to get my hands all over those silicone Hugh Jackman muscles and oh yeah, this is good. Those chest muscles and abs are looking crazy good, and yes, they also feel crazy good with all that sculpt work and the silicone. I am so impressed. There's lots of glossy blood effects all over the silicone, and man, I think I finally found my battle damage Wolverine. Let's look at the pants real quick, and these look fantastic. There's tons of blood and dirt staining all over these pants, and yes, the boots are also covered in blood. The pants and boots seem to be the exact same as the Deluxe Wolverines in terms of material and sculpt work, but of course, yes, there's just blood and dirt all over them, and yes, I love them a lot more. And of course, I apologize for making you wait, but let's fully take the jacket off now. To do this, I removed his hands and then gently rotated his arms backwards and then gently pushed them towards each other. This allows the jacket to slide off very easily. You want to push it down a little against the shoulders and then kind of grab each sleeve and kind of hold gentle, make sure you're not pulling the silicone. And once the jacket's off, you just want to toss it back in the box, never to be seen again. And holy shinovation, man, this silicone upper body is insane. I am so impressed. And of course, there's some visible seam lines like the one for the neck, and then there's some little ones around the body for where the actual silicone comes together. It was also visible, of course, on the other Wolverines. And yes, I know I could be nitpicking a little because this looks incredible, but I need to call it out because Hot Toys, they can always improve. And for some of us, once you see it, it's hard to unsee. So yeah, I just need to call it out real quick so they know that they still have a little bit of work to kind of fully perfect the way they're doing these seamless arms and upper bodies and everything. But Hot Toys, you nailed this one though. But like I said, I do want to see some improvements for your seamless upper bodies, like that Temple of Doom indie, because that one's also getting a full seamless upper body. But I'll stop nitpicking because this is impressive. Like I said, the sculpting for the silicone and then that muscle padding underneath just feels and looks incredible. The skin texture looks great, and the addition of all those veins just, mwah, chef's kiss. If we ignore those seam lines, because once it's in a display, they're going to be really hard to see, I don't have a single additional complaint for the actual silicone upper body because this is everything I wanted when I looked at this figure. There's no visible joints and tons of battle damage, but of course, that no complaint comment only works up to the figure's wrists. This figure doesn't look as realistic as some of the other Wolverines for one reason, and that's the visible wrist pegs. I don't know exactly how they would have fixed this to actually hide the wrist pegs, but my first thought is that they could have made the silicone a little longer to cover it, but maybe that would damage it, just look off. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think they could do to actually hide these in the future, but I did brainstorm one thing that you could do to actually hide them if they really bug you. Once again, this is another 10 out of 10 Hugh Jackman head sculpt, and yes, we will of course compare it to the others, but I already know that this is going to be my favorite because I love battle damage and it has glossy blood all over the head. We also get the rolling eyeball feature to bring some more life into the figure. Now let's get the accessories out here, starting with those hands. Out of the box, the figure comes with a pair of relaxed style hands. Then we get a pair of gripping hands for the katana. These hands are nicely detailed and sculpted with the skin texture, the veins, and even the fingernails look very lifelike. We get a pair of, I believe, mask holding hands and a pair of tiger claw hands with those fingers really curled in, and I love these claws here. They're a nice shiny chrome and of course plastic, but I love the way they look coming out of the hands. I can't find a great way to explain why, but it's just really cool seeing those kind of openings where the claws actually come out of the figure, and yeah, I just really love it. Now we have his dirty, bloody mask, and I wish that this was the same mold as the yellow and blue suit one so we could actually use the mouse plates or even get some battle damage plates. This is the huge missed opportunity I alluded to before because Hot Toys, they really messed up here. If anything, they should have made this mask compatible with the other mouse plates from the yellow and blue suit, but they didn't even do that. And honestly, this doesn't even make sense because when he first went shirtless in the movie, he was wearing the mask because his whole shirt exploded. So Hot Toys, I don't know why he did this to us. We also get one of Deadpool's katanas, and I love this. It's covered in blood all over the blade, and I think I'm gonna give it to my battle damage Deadpool since of course, in the pose I have him in right now, he has a single katana out and he's already battle damaged, so yeah. It would just add to him to have a bloody katana in hand. Now, for some reason, we get a sliced up filing cabinet and a drawer. It has Wolverine's claw marks on it and it looks kind of cool, but it's not necessary for me. I guess, of course, it adds to the TVA theme of the figure, especially since we also get a bag of placards, I guess. In the instructions, they call these stickers, but do not try to peel them off. I learned that the hard way, unless I'm just really bad at peeling stickers. The base here is reused from some of the Dark Knight figures like Catwoman and Bane, but I like it. It says Wolverine TVA jacket version on the front, and it's a nice brown and gray color with lots of different black speckling on it. And of course, the top has some nice floor grading that's just kind of fun to run your finger across. We get a wider scoop crotch grabber with this figure, and this just slots right into the base. Just note that it doesn't slot all the way down and there's a slight gap because I was kind of forcing it in until I realized that it wouldn't go down any further. The other cool thing is that the base legs actually extend 2 times if you want to add some extra elevation to them in the display. Let's look through these placards real quick. These all have different texts and designs on them. I'll kind of speed through this part, but feel free to pause and read what you like. Like I said, the instructions note these are stickers they can attach to the filing cabinets and the base, but I just wouldn't recommend trying to peel them because it's not really going to work out too well and you'll end up ruining some of them. So for the posters, you could just kind of toss them on the base, but to be honest, these are just going to go back in the box for me. But the files that go in the filing cabinet that are all sliced up and everything actually fit in there pretty nicely. They kind of get slotted in there and secure pretty well, so I think I'll leave them in and just use the cabinet in the display. You can set the filing cabinet on the base and it shows to put the mask on top, but of course, I would have much rather had the mask be usable on the figure than designed to be set dressing with a flat bottom, and that it's just it's a waste of potential. Then the drawer, of course, can be leaned against a crotch grabber or just put anywhere you want. Going through the articulation, in theory, this should be the most limited of the Wolverines because of that silicone upper body. The head moves up, down, side to side. The torso can crunch forward and back, but it doesn't really have any rotation, so just don't try it. But luckily, the silicone feels very durable. The arms move like this and is very restrictive, so they can't move up very high, and there's little to no rotation, although you can get a little bit, but don't rotate it too far. You do not want to damage the silicone. The legs are pretty restricted because of the pants material and can move this much. But now, let's get the other Wolverines out here and do some comparisons. Starting with the yellow and blue suit mask, these are supposed to be the same mask, except of course there's a lot more dirt and blood all over the TVA jacket one. But the sculpt seems to be very similar, except of course, this figure's mask is flatter on the bottom and doesn't allow any mouse plates to be attached, which, like I keep saying, is a huge missed opportunity and makes me very sad. And now briefly comparing it to the brown suit mask, these are pretty different, which is to be expected. Looking at all 3 Wolverines side by side now, man, this lineup is incredible. Of course, the shirtless Wolverine is the most similar to the yellow and blue suit since it's the same pants, boots, and even head sculpt, just much dirtier and bloody on the TVA jacket version. We will do some head sculpt swaps in a minute, but you guys see what I see, right? These are some of the most realistic looking figures that Hot Toys has produced, and it's all because of that medical grade silicone. The innovation on this figure in particular with the seamless upper body just, it honestly makes this my favorite Wolverine of the three because I'm just a sucker for battle damage. And to me, unless they give us a full battle damage Wolverine like the yellow suit, which maybe they plan on doing that in the future, which is why they actually didn't make the battle damage mask usable. But putting theories beside, yeah, this is basically the battle damage version of Wolverine. He's shirtless, he's all sliced up, the pants are insanely dirty, and the head sculpt has some blood, and you get a battle damage mask, although yes, I keep saying it, huge missed opportunity. Yes, before when I just had the two figures to compare, I said I love the more muted color tones of the brown suit more than the yellow suit, but now, seeing the full seamless upper body on this suit with the battle damage everywhere, yeah, this is my favorite Wolverine. Seeing him covered in slashes and blood and dirt and everything, yeah, it just screams Wolverine so much more, and man, oh, I love it. Then just looking at the bases really quick, this figure gets the most elevated one, and of course, it's adjustable so I can lower if I want to, but I still love the way the yellow and blue suit hexagonal base looks the most. Now let's swap some head sculpts. Putting the bloody head sculpt on the yellow suit, yeah, it works since the suit is kind of battle damaged and I really like this. Putting on the brown suit, it works less since the suit is pretty clean, but it still looks pretty good. Now putting the yellow and blue suit head sculpt on the actual TVA jacket Wolverine, this looks good because it's literally the same head sculpt, just not battle damaged. And then yeah, the brown sculpt, it kind of works on his body because it looks super cocky, but yeah, this figure, he came with the right head sculpt because man, the blood and everything on it looks great. Now let's just put the yellow and blue suit mask on the figure and this looks awesome. Of course, it makes me a little bit more frustrated because I would have loved to use the dirty and bloody mask, but maybe I could modify it to make it work. But honestly, we shouldn't have to do that. And Hot Toys, once again, you guys really screwed us on that. Just kind of testing what could have been. We could put a mouse plate up to the dirty mask, and yeah, this would have looked so good on the figure. I would have, maybe I would have displayed him like this, but still, oh yeah, I do love the head sculpt. But I have a wild idea, and holy guacamole, this looks awesome. I just put the battle damage gauntlets on the figure with the Wolverine claws from the yellow suit, and man, this looks super cool. Of course, if you had the deluxe Wolverine, you could do this and still have the gauntlets for that figure that are clean, but of course you won't have the claws in. But man, this is a sick display option, and putting the mask on him too, yeah, this is pretty peak, but once again, it would have been better with the battle damage mask. And real quick, yes, the bloody katana is compatible with Deadpool, it just slots right into his hand, and I'll probably do this in display because for Wolverine, to me, he always just has his claws. He doesn't really use Deadpool's katana unless he's pulling it out of him. Now it's time to pose. For the first pose, I have Wolverine in the TVA jacket looking pretty cool holding the mask, and yes, the jacket looks nice and has a nice feeling material, but I don't think a single person got this figure to display him wearing the jacket. Maybe if you're displaying with the jacket open, but I don't know, even in that scenario, you might as well just take the whole jacket off. The seamless torso is an awesome innovation by Hot Toys, and I look forward to seeing it on so many more figures in the future. And yeah, it's cool he can actually hold the mask, but I keep saying it and I'm not going to stop. It's a huge missed opportunity not allowing the mask to actually go on the figure, and yes, it is my main and potentially only issue with this figure. For the next pose, of course, he's shirtless and on the base. He's staying there with a bloody katana and his claws out. This just looks sick, and that seamless upper body carries this figure and even makes me forget about the visible wrist pegs. Because honestly, the only other downside of this figure is the wrist pegs, but man, this is now my favorite Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't believe that I almost passed on this figure because I was like, nah, I don't really need a shirtless Hugh Jackman on display, but it turned out that I really did. Like I keep saying, I love battle damage, and to me, this is the battle damage Wolverine. Sure, the deluxe edition of the yellow and blue suit had some swap out battle damage pieces, but they really just kind of half-assed them because that wasn't really battle damage at all. And it was very inaccurate. There was a little bit of battle damage on the forearm guards, the shoulder guards, and then of course the upper chest, and I guess a little on the back, but there's no battle damage on the legs, no blood, no nothing anywhere but just those pieces, and even those weren't really too battle damaged. At the point in the movie when he got all this battle damage on him, basically his whole suit looked just like the pants of the seamless Wolverine. And maybe in the display I'll just convert this one to like a clean Wolverine look, because now I have 3 Wolverines and I don't regret any of them, but maybe this one I could take away the seamless arms and just make them look like a full clean Wolverine. Hot Toys has been making some next level looking Wolverine figures from Deadpool and Wolverine. They just look insanely lifelike, and now with this full seamless upper body one, man, the innovation they're doing, I'm impressed. I am definitely going to keep my pre-order for the Artisan Apocalypse Wolverine with that lion's mane of implanted hair on the head sculpt, and yes, we're going to do some more head swaps when he gets in. But man, despite the missed opportunity with the battle damage head sculpt, I think if you passed on this TVA Jacket Wolverine, you might regret it unless you only wanted one Wolverine anyway. Of course, you had to get the more iconic of the two, the yellow and blue suit Wolverine first, but this one, it's gorgeous. And on that yellow and blue suit Wolverine, you can't run your hands along his abs. But let's talk about the TVA Jacket Wolverine down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like and hit subscribe for much more content like this. Check out another video on the channel, maybe the yellow and blue suit Wolverine review, or even the brown suit one. As always, thank you to the channel members. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon, but until next time, stay 6 scale.